Two of the absolute best that both Google and Samsung have to offer, a battle between software precision and powerhouse refinement. Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Dave. If you're new here, I do tech reviews, and today for you guys, I have a battle of notifications of the Pixel 7 Pro and the Galaxy S23 Ultra. The Pixel 7 Pro was my daily driver for a while, up until the Fold 4 came out, and the S23 Ultra has been my daily driver until about now, since its release. And even though these phones are sort of in two different pricing tiers, and you could argue performance tiers, I was actually surprised in a lot of different ways. And I hope to paint a picture for you guys of what these two phones are like in everyday life usage. Something that I suppose I took a little bit for granted when I first used the Pixel 7 Pro at the time. I acknowledge that the haptics on this were really nice, and you know, the time duration between using this and using this was kind of an extensive one. So when I picked them both up again, I realized that the haptics on the 7 Pro are actually better than on the Galaxy S23 Ultra. That's something that you would expect out of a phone like this, right? That is demonstrably a powerhouse in pretty much every single area, and with the price point would have at minimum comparable haptics to the 7 Pro. But no, when typing, receiving text, getting any sort of vibration feedback out of this device, it's just better on the 7 Pro than it is on the 23 Ultra. Now, that being said, haptics aren't something that make a huge difference to me personally, and for what it's worth, I've used this phone for, again, like close to 2 months now. Never been a problem, but using them side by side, I definitely realized the difference. Which one is better one-handed usage? Initially, my feeling was the S23 Ultra because it has flat side rails, which make it easier to just grip on a day-to-day basis, but after using them a bit longer, I've actually found that the 7 Pro feels like a more balanced phone. It has a slightly smaller form factor, and it's honestly just a bit lighter. And so for one-handed usage, even though both have like a really good one-handed mode that work really well every single time that you want to use them for any situation, I think the Pixel 7 Pro is an easier one-hand use phone. It's taking these both outside in like very bright sunlight. I can't help but notice that the 23 Ultra just feels brighter and easier to read in those really harsh sunlight conditions. You can still use the Pixel 7 Pro outdoors, and it's something that Google's really worked on the last couple of years. They did a great job here. But the 23 Ultra definitely gets brighter and is easier to view the content that you're looking at, texts, web pages, videos, that kind of thing. Still usable here, but in my experience, this is a bit easier to view in those bright situations. Oh, I almost ended this video without mentioning the wildcards on both of these phones. In editing, you guys won't notice, I'll notice, that doesn't matter. Anyway, wildcards. On the Pixel 7 Pro, you have this little G spot here on the back of the device, which I absolutely love. You can program it to do a host of different things for you. So say, for example, you want to double tap it and pull down the notification shade, or double tap it and take a screenshot, which is what I personally use it for. Or you can double tap it and activate, I don't know, have Twitter open or activate your Google Assistant. When I use the Pixel 7 Pro, that's a feature that I use all the time, and it's something that you can't do over here on the 23 Ultra. On the flip side of that, of course, you have the S Pen, which for me, my line of work, this is something that I really do value. I love just being able to pull this out, take down notes for something that I'm thinking of, if I have an idea for something later in the day or for a client or something. I know a lot of you guys in like my Fold 4 reviews or in the 23 Ultra videos that I've had have mentioned how S Pen has been really useful for you in terms of accentuating your work lifestyle, right? There was a guy that talked about how he takes a picture of server racks and he'll draw out exactly where the connections for those server racks have to go. I'll let you decide which one fits into your lifestyle a bit better, but I wanted to make sure I touched on that. Other than me is gonna sit here and talk to you now, and I'm gonna go over here and edit what this guy is about to talk about. Have a nice day. Now, in my experience, some phones can have weird connectivity issues with different applications. For example, my 6 Pro would sometimes either take a while to connect to my Tesla app or would have weird disconnects from the Tesla app while I was using it, where say on the Fold 4, for example, that's not been a problem. Or if you're someone like myself that has like a smart home, smart lock system like mine from Eufy/Anchor, which by the way, it's my first smart home, smart lock system. and it's really cool. Like the fact that you can interact with it with Google Assistant, you can enter the number pads, it sends notifications to your phone through the app, or like for example, my grandparents are living with me right now, and so if they forget the keys when they're trying to get back into the house, or they forget the number sequence on the number pad, no matter where I'm at, I can just hit the app on my phone, it opens the door, the day is saved. It's really cool. But anyway, in instances like that, both the 7 Pro and the 23 Ultra have been really great with connectivity with different smart devices, no problem. Google's always been amazing with that Pixel OS. It's always very smooth, very polished. The animations make you feel like you're almost using an Apple device or an iPhone, but it's Android, and that's been the case even with not as powerful chipsets in Pixel devices. Here, the experience is amazing. Samsung, over the last few years, has really done a great job of like pumping these things with the near best absolute specs on the market, but the software would always sort of lag behind and make for a little bit of a wonky experience. For the most part, it would work well, but then you get like a hiccup there, or a little bit of hitching, or a stutter. Animations might not be the smoothest. I have to say that Samsung really nailed the software refinement on this powerhouse. I mean, the animations are amazing, things are incredibly smooth, and when I say smooth, it was never a problem of like how much it could handle, it was always the butteriness of the experience like you get on a Pixel device. Samsung's really been honing in on that, and so I can honestly say on both of these devices, you're getting a comparably smooth and buttery experience, especially with the 120Hz refresh rate display on both of these. If you're looking for just that, and that's all you're looking for, go with the Pixel 7 Pro. It's a bit cheaper, and everything is super smooth. But Samsung's did a really good job bringing that up to par with the rest of what the phone has to offer. If you guys are enjoying the video so far, want to stay up to date with what it is I am doing next, hitting the subscribe button's the best way to do so. A thumbs up does go a long way to helping me out here on the channel. And in the comment section, leave a banana emoji if you're Team Pixel right now, and a dolphin emoji if you're Team Galaxy right now. I'm gonna let you get back to your video, because if not, I'll just talk and talk. So in my 1-month review of the S23 Ultra, I break down what my work day is like on average in working as a therapist, right? From like the time I wake up to the time that I'm getting home and resting for the night. This thing can handle that completely without any problems. The 7 Pro, on the other hand, unfortunately, I need to top up at some point. And of course, like I'm in my car, I can charge it to and from without any problem. But in terms of like reliability, I know this can get me there without the extra help, or the 7 Pro needs like a small top up at some point throughout the day. If you guys have been here for a while, you know that I'm a phone gamer. I love playing games like Punching Gray Raven, Dragon Ball Legends. There's this new game that just came out, Higgin Some of you guys in the comments probably know. Let me know if you're playing that too. It's pretty fun. And of course, Genshin Impact, which is a really fun game. The 23 Ultra, as I've discussed in my iPhone 14 Pro Max comparison video and the standalone review for this, the 23 Ultra can literally handle any game that you're playing at maximum everything. With no problem, it'll completely fly through it. Genshin Impact, it can play at 60 frames per second maximum everything, and it's perfectly fine. For comparison's sake, the 7 Pro can play most games at their high settings, and a good amount of games at like absolute max settings. Though depending on the game, like Punching Gray Raven, for example, if you're playing maximum settings, you'll drop a couple of frames, but for the most part, it's a stable experience. You definitely can't play Genshin Impact on this at maximum everything the way that you can on the 23 Ultra. You can play with most things at pretty darn high, at like a stable 30 frames per second. Comparing like the price points of both of these phones, I don't think that's really going to be a deal breaker for the majority of people watching. But if you want to shell out the extra money and want to get all of the anti-aliasing and the bloom and the higher frame rates and the better textures on everything maxed out, then the 23 Ultra is the way to go. Camera time. In these videos, you guys really like when I just sort of like show you the video and picture comparisons and let you devise what you think. This comparison surprised me a lot, and a lot of you guys might also be surprised. Let me know in the comment section what you think, but enjoy. Okay, now the S23 Ultra can do 10-bit 60 frames per second, where the Pixel's topped out at 10-bit at 30 frames at 4K for both. So to make things equal, I'm going to have both here at this 30 FPS mode. Let's look at some of the detail here on the Lion. Shout out to that guy in the back getting his workout in. And take a closer look here at some of the stone, so you guys can see some of the detail up close in video. I think both look really good. I do think though that the Galaxy in video, to my eye at least, looks more crisp in the viewfinder and doesn't look quite as blurry right now, but we'll see what that looks like once we're out of, once it hits post-processing and such. Alright guys, so in the comment section, let me know which of these phones you think looks best to you, and more importantly, which one do you think fits you the best? Of course, over here on the 7 Pro, you're getting a lot of bang for buck, especially compared directly to the S23 Ultra, and in a lot of surprising ways, and you're saving a few $100s. But of course, the S23 Ultra does excel in a lot of different ways as well, so it really is a matter of what do you think is going to fit your lifestyle the best. Again, if you're new and want to see more content like this, hitting the subscribe button is the best way to stay up to date. As always, guys, thanks for hanging out. I wish you an awesome remainder of your day, afternoon, or night, depending on the time it is that you are watching this. And as always, peace, love, and adios. Click on one of these videos so you can see more. I'm going to go for a walk. Have a nice day, guys. Bye.